Hello, I'm Bood and welcome back to Rebuilding Leeds United. It's episode 3 and as always, thanks for joining me. Hopefully you've enjoyed the series so far. This is going to be the last episode in the series, so hopefully we can end it on some kind of a high because I've genuinely, really, surprisingly for me, enjoyed being Leeds United manager. It's been a really fun save. I've been on holiday, so I've just been able to play it for fun, and it has been fun, and that's what Football Manager should be about. So I'm enjoying it. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If you are enjoying it, you can always smash that like button. It really helps me out, supports me, not just my channel but me. And if you really want to support me, you can pledge to my Patreon. That'd be absolutely massive, and maybe you'll be featuring in a future video of mine, just maybe. But yeah, thank you very much. Right then, enough talking. It was a fun season, but was it a great season? Was it a legendary season? Let's march on together, boys. Well, as you know, we finished the season pretty well. We got to an FA Cup semi-final, a Carabao Cup final, losing to Liverpool, and we finished 7th. In the Premier League, so, fantastic first year. I think it was a bit of shock and awe, where, people don't really know what you're about. But I've got a good team. I signed some great players from Scotland, and they are some great players. I think the whole defence is pretty much Scottish, and they were a wall. We built that great season from the back. So, I had a good team, got some really good players, just needed to make some adjustments, and I thought we could maybe do something. Plus, for the third and final season of the series, we're in the Euro 3. Now, when this first came out, I thought it was a crap competition, right? I thought, Jesus, what a load of shit. But you know what? It's great, because when you're an up-and-coming team, you're not going to be facing the big boys. You've always got a great chance of doing well in that. And obviously, one season in the Premier League, we've cleared our debts, we've got money in the bank, and I've got money to spend. This is where Leeds United should be. I was well happy. Now you know who won the Carabao Cup, because Liverpool beat us in the final, but if you want to know who won the FA Cup, well, Manchester City won it on penalties. And I'm showing you this because it's a sad day if you're a Chelsea fan. I'd have liked Chelsea to have won both of these games, but they didn't. They lost the Champions League final to Manchester City. This time it was 2-1. Now we're going to jump forward to the start of the season. Pre-season's been played. I'll share that with you in a minute. And we're going to kick off the Premier League season at this point. Now, no big-time players went. Some guys from the lower team went. But obviously we had some loans last year. So this year I needed to fill them spots. And we did that. We've signed a couple of players, signed some really good ones in my opinion. We spent a bit of money, 30 million in cash. But that's definitely going to expand. I've definitely stretched that out a bit. But you've got to do that. You've got to be clever with those transfers. We brought a little bit of money back. But I don't care about that. We're in a great place and I really want to kick on this year. Now we brought in a couple of frees this year. But most of them will be direct to football. We're signing younger players for the youth team. The one major signing was Borja Mayoral, the Spanish fella. His contract was up. I said I was going to try and sign him, and we got him on a free. He's now worth 25 million. I like that a lot. I mean, if you're going to play this save for a while, or any save you're playing, keep your eye out for him. He's decent. I mean, he scored quite well, 13 goals was it in the league for us last year. He was good. He was my main man really, and look, we had a good season with him at the top of the attack. Sign him on a free, sell him on maybe a year later and make a huge profit. Good bit of business. Now I needed a defensive midfielder, and I brought this guy in as a backup because he came up for sale. He's one of these players that's at City, and they've got loads of players in their reserves and youth team, doing nothing at a good age. And he's a good player. He's not a world beater, but he's a very good young player. 20 years old, can improve. Next up, it's Filippo Maligore. He's Italian. Like I said on multiple saves now, I think there's a lot of good players in Italy. And Italy's not what it used to be. You can get them players to England quite easily. Even Germany. Get them into Germany. But Italy's worth scouting these days for players like this. Seriously, and I think he's going to be a great player. We brought him in from Atalanta. And I want him to be a defensive midfielder mainly. That's what I brought him in as. Just a bit of strength at the back of the midfield, and to allow me other more creative players to go forward. Now obviously we had Reece Nelson last year on the right wing, young wonder kid who was absolutely amazing. Couldn't afford him, they didn't want to sell him and they want to keep him for the first team this year, so we couldn't re-loan him. I did try, so I had to go out into the market, and again I've gone out to the Italian market. It's a great place to go. We've got a guy here from Bologna, whatever they call. Can't say it. I don't know why, because I can't say it, but I'm having a brain fart. But this kid's decent, and again, shows you some of the talent in Italy. Definitely worth scouting. Italy, trust me. Good young right winger. Look, at his potential ability. He's a wonder kid, and I've played this game tons this year. I've played it loads. I've never come across Emmanuel Vignato. Last but not least, I got the striker I wanted last year, but I run out of money. I had to cross my fingers it would not be sold on, because I think he's a good young player in this game, Victor. I got him from Lille in France. I can improve a little bit. And I mean, you know, he looks like he's a nearly man, basically. He's like nearly a great striker when you look at his key attribute. But I think I've had him once, maybe twice before on the game, and he's always come good. And he's one of the best young ones I could get. We're not Manchester United, we're not City, we're not Liverpool. I can't buy Paulo Dybala, sorry. So it's this kind of player you need to go for. I think he's going to be great. So of course the finances have taken a hit, but we're fine. We started off last year in debt, with debt to pay off. This year we're debt free. We've got 26 million in the bank. That's going to go boom, boom, boom. Bit of European football. Bob's your uncle, fan is your aunt. I can't wait to get started. What does our chairman want? Well, mid-table. I'll be happy with that, because I mean, I think we've got a good team here. A lot of players are going to be settled more. We've got a bit more quality as well. You know, we finished 7th last year, so you don't really want to go backwards, but then you've got to think we're in Europe this year. Even though it's the Euro Cup 2, it's still Europe. Do you know what I mean? We've got group stages qualifying, all that stuff. And then obviously the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, so it's going to be a tough season, but what it's all about, isn't it? Now they're still building the youth facilities, you can see that there. I might have showed you that maybe at the end of the last episode. But over the summer, they've improved our youth recruitment and increased the junior coaching budget, which is great. I leave a lot of that to my director of football on these rebuilds, because I've got a lot to try and get through. I've got to play a lot of Football Manager so I can make the series for you guys. So I don't do a lot of the youth stuff myself, because if you've got good youth staff, now it really helps with your youth intake, and that's something I don't really do on these rebuilds. I don't really bother with youth intakes. I don't really pay on any of that much attention unless I get some like world-class youngster, just because I know it's a short series. I know I'm not going to be here for 10 years, so I don't think about that stuff. So the board and the bookies on the same wavelength, aren't they? 10. No offence, I know we're better than Wolves and Everton and Leicester. I think we are, personally. Tottenham are a massive team, so you don't know about Spurs, but I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to drop too far down though. But I'd take 10, as long as we're successful in other areas. But we're competing in one of the craziest leagues in the world, especially because of money. And I mean, you get a little news snippet, don't you? Usually every summer saying the Premier League has spent 1.3 billion, and the next one might be the Bundesliga with 500 million. So it's insane. I mean, look at this. Look at all these big deals. And we're not in any of them. And we've made some good ones, but obviously have stretched some finances out. But yeah, it gets tougher every season. I'm not going to show you the players individually because, you know, the players are good. You've seen most of them last year, the ones that are still here. No big guys have really left apart from loans, and then I've shown you the guys who've come in. So, you know, I did contemplate trying to get another goalkeeper, but I think the goalkeeper is decent. I know his star rating don't say that, but I think he's good. So I'm leaving that guy second season with us. Still got my Scottish back four pretty much. And then obviously going forward, forget Phillips there. I want Maligore is going to play there. Phillips, Shackleton, Bogusts, or whatever his name is. He's a Polish kid or wherever he's from. He's in Czech Republic, he's something like that. But he's a good young player, and there's some really good young players. Shackleton though, especially in the middle. I've also got Roberts, who I really like. Great player to have as a backup striker, backup winger. But with Vignato on the right and Johnson on the left, and Victor up top, I think we're going to cause a lot of teams a lot of trouble. And I'm going to be sticking with this tactic. I know it's not perfect. It's one that I've kind of someone else's that I've modified to suit me and this team. But I've been using it on my Journeyman, which will be out tomorrow. Go check it out. We're back to Croatia, and I'm loving it there, and I'm loving it here. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. If it's perfect, it's boring in my opinion. But if you enjoy watching the game yourself and you enjoy aspects of it, then that's all you need to do. I mean, I did think about maybe tweaking a few things, but I thought I'll leave it for this one. And if I go somewhere else and whatever I do next, if I carry on with this tactic, I might tweak it more maybe. Pre-season again was not perfect, but I'm not bothered by it. We went to America. I had a short pre-season this year, just 4 games in the States, playing, you know, not necessarily the most fancied big teams in America. Minnesota, Miami, Cincinnati, and Orlando. We got beat off Orlando, to be fair. Is what it is. I just want to go and have a bit of sun, have fun in the have fun training camps, bit of a bonding session. Do you know what I mean? beat David Beckham at Miami. Rock on into the season. And we've got a new captain. Calvin Phillips is new captain. I didn't think he was exactly the best leader, but I liked him. I like him as a player. He's all round game. He's amazing. And he's one of ours, isn't he? He's been at Leeds since 2013. It's now 2022. He's played 206 games for us. Scored 14 goals, but he's just been really good. And I didn't know too much about him, but I think there is talk in real life about him getting in the England team. Maybe if Leeds can get promoted, he can stay at Leeds, but I think he's probably one of them players that Leeds are going to struggle to keep hold of in real life. It's now January the 1st, and we're at the halfway mark. So, as always, we usually start with the Carabao Cup. Have we got ourselves to a cheeky final, like we did last year? Well, we started our campaign away at Luton, the Hatters, scraped through really. And then I'm sorry to all Leeds fans. Went to Old Trafford full of confidence and got absolutely annihilated. United got Grealish. Kind of like I want Sancho and Grealish in real life. I'll be happy with that. Yeah, got Clivert as well. Good young players on that team, to be fair. I don't know, it's United. I didn't expect an absolute arse kicking. I mean, we knocked them out of this last year. Yeah, it is what it is, so we move on. The FA Cup, though, we've drawn Preston North End. Great club. A team that's just, I think, again, deserves at least a season 2 in the Premier League because they're just a massive club full of history, aren't they? Preston North End. They've got Claude Makalele. He was a beast. If you're too young to remember him, I love that guy as a player. He played for Chelsea. But, I mean, he wasn't like some exotic player. He was just a good player. I liked him. Let's move on to Europe, and the cheeky bastards made us qualify. We are Leeds. We are Leeds. Playing our beautiful black and pink kit. I did actually ask Leeds fans in episode 1, what's happened to the yellow kit? You always have a yellow kit, but it's actually a Leeds centenary year, isn't it, in real life? So they've got this fancy gold badge. So I think the theory behind it was that the gold, you can't see it on the yellow. I don't know if that's true, but it does make sense. But bring back the yellow kit. If you know me, you know I love a bit of yellow in your football shirts. Then we beat the Ukrainians. That's where they're from. The Ukraine 3-0 again. We need 6-0 in aggregate and booking our place in the group stage. We're Leeds. We're from the Premier League. We finished 7th. We've had to qualify. I thought we'd be straight in the group stage, man. A group stage that I think we bossed. No, we did boss it. I mean, the only game we lost was against Antwerp. We finished 2nd, so that's all not too bad. We won the other 5, but yeah, I think it was 1-0 against Antwerp. That 1-0 away, and then 5 victories. I mean, apart from the OB game. Clean sheet central. Do you know what I mean? Pretty good. I love how Sherry Tiraspol have got the star. When I first saw that, I thought, have I mixed up the Rockstar Rovers badge? Have I put it in the wrong file? No, I haven't. So yeah, we dominated that group, which is really good. Great for the fans. I know it's 3rd division Europe, but great for the fans, great for the club, great for me, great for the players. What's next? Well, we don't know what's next because we're bypassing the first round. We've gone straight to the second round, so we've got to wait for that to play. So we're getting a bit of a break. The bookies and the board have predicted right. We're 10th. Lost 9, won 9, drawn 2 at this point. I think we're good. I still think we're a good team. I think we're just as good as last year. I think we're better than we were last year. I just think we've got more games. I know we've gone out the Carabao Cup early, but I think Europe's different in it because the game takes in travelling. It does for the fans because you get news, don't you, saying, oh, your fans have travelled 800 miles to Bognor Regis. So it happens, doesn't it? Tonali, look who the best player in the league is. Now, I remember getting him ages ago on a rebuild. It might have even been last year saying he's a top young player in, and he's becoming a top young player. United. Manchester United need to look at him. He's a beast. Great on this game. If you can get him while he's still at Brescia, get him on this game. I mean, defensively, you might say, oh, you're 11th. But, you know, what's the difference there? They've got a couple of goals behind us, a couple of goals in front of us. You know, it's nothing major. It's not like we're completely shocking at defence. And it's the same going forward, really, in my opinion. Not too much. One good game away from getting in the top 5, I reckon. Is what it is. I mean, we're 10th in. We're roughly, we're 11th in defence, 10th in attack, and 10th in the league. So it's what it is. And, you know, you can't be super successful and win the Premier League in 3 seasons. All that kind of stuff ain't going to happen. But it's about the stat. A lot of these rebuilds is over a 3-year period. It's about establishing the club again, getting them back to where they belong, getting them on a good financial footing. And if you can win a trophy or something, then that's like a cherry on the cake, innit? And I might have knocked the lad 15 million. Helder Costa, always good in the Championship, ends up my best player, leading goal scorer. I don't know if he's going to be a Premier League player. Did pretty well for me, and he's now my best player in the Premier League. I don't know anything. So you can see here by the results what's going on really. We've had some really bad ones of form, and yeah, maybe the tactic ain't. Maybe I could change the tactic up, but I'm not like that, me. I like to stick with something and fight through it, because you can do that. I hope. So yeah, we started off not too bad, apart from the defeat at United, which is not good if you're a Leeds United fan. Up until we got annihilated off Liverpool. We bounced back against Everton, the biggest club in Liverpool, and then we've gone this crap run here. Managed to beat Stoke, crap again, beat Villa, but I mean, getting beat off Norwich, getting beat off Brighton, getting beat off Southampton, these are games we need to be winning. But then you look at the squad and you see how well a lot of these players are doing, so you know, there's hope, there's things to look forward to. We've got a whole second half of a season where anything can happen. Costa's a beast. Scores goals for fun. Not a goal every other game. Is what it is. Victor, not doing bad, 14 goals at the halfway point. So he's already scored more goals than Moyal, or whatever he's called. The guy, Mayoral, the Spaniard who we brought in on a free, who's now a backup striker, did last year at the end of the season. So if he can keep them goals coming, he's a beast. I told you he's a good player. Phillips, still a great player. Shackleton's not played that much. I mean, this kid, he's at Leeds when you take over. I've never heard of him. He's now a wonder kid. I don't think he was at the start, was he? I don't think he was. They've got him from a team I've never heard of. If he's this good in real life, Leeds need to keep hold of him and play the lad. Financially, we're still doing well. We're not making tons of profit though, but I am paying off. That's the thing this year. We're paying off quite a lot of transfer debt again, because we cleared the debts and then I put transfer debt back on the club by stretching out some of them deals. But that's what you need to do, don't you, in the Premier League? We're not going backwards, we're still making a profit, so I'll take that. Well, we're marching on together. I never heard that song until I met a Leeds fan. He told me all about it, so I know it now. We're marching on together, and it's now April. So we're jumping back in to see what's going on. And we're going to start with the FA Cup. And of course, as you know, we're playing Preston, and we beat them 2-0, did a very good job against them. They didn't really turn up. We did, and we rock on through to the next round. A round in which we drew Ipswich at home, another team we should be beating, and we did. Again, they did not show up. We should have scored more. I was a bit disappointed in my boys, to be fair, but we did just enough to get through. But there'll be no semi-final this year, and I can't lie, I was well disappointed with this. I knew when I drew Cardiff, good team, but when we drew Cardiff, even away, I thought, but we've got this, we'll do this. And I don't know how we didn't do it. I genuinely don't know how we didn't do it. Over to the Prem though, we have improved. We're now 8th in the league, which is decent. I mean, we're joint, to be fair, with Norwich, so I don't want to go backwards. If we can get, I mean, we're some way off United in 6th. I mean, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it, to finish above United. But I'd like to get 7th again. That was my target at this point. You don't really want to go backwards. But I've got to be realistic. I don't think we could get any higher than 7th. But do you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. I felt okay about it. I just wanted a little bit more improvement, maybe. Maybe that's my fault, tactically. But I believe in my players. I think I've got a good team. A team I think shown flickers of awesomeness. Especially after the Christmas break or whatever you get now. You get a bit of a winter break, don't you? And we came back and beat Liverpool, the champions. Went a great run. Fulham, Everton beat Villa. And didn't get beat all the way to freaking Norwich, which is massive disappointing. And then recently it's gone off the boil a bit, to be fair. Brighton defeat, I wasn't happy with. Sheffield United, Stoke, not happy with either of them. But you know, we've shown we're just not consistent, and to be a top team you need to be consistent, but that doesn't mean that we're not a good team. Over to Europe, Euro Cup 2, and we drew Freiburg, getting beat in the second knockout round, first leg. Yeah, we got beat. Pretty disappointed with this. Pretty even game, to be fair. There wasn't a lot in it. Although we did get our goal in the 95th minute, and that could be massive for us. In fact, it was huge for us because it let us comfortably go through, because we beat them 3-1 at our place. Buzzing for Borgia, getting those 2 goals. Pretty even game again, so there wasn't a lot in this. Next up we played Sparta. And again, I don't feel like there's a lot in this, even though it looks like there is, but I just didn't think I didn't feel like it was. It felt a lot tougher And then we finished them off, beating them 2-0 at home. I mean, I love this competition because you get to play against teams you just don't normally play out against in Europe, do you? I mean, Leeds versus Sparta and stuff like that is pretty cool. And then, yeah, I've gone from thinking this competition's a joke to thinking it's great. And we've drawn Genk in the next round of this European competition. They are rich, by the way, but they're doing crap. They're in the championship group, but they're near the bottom. There's like 10 teams in it. I think they're not doing well, so I felt quite good about it. Yeah, I definitely downloaded it. I forgot to put it in the file. It was just sat in the other folder. Doing nothing. It looks much better, doesn't it? Nice and pretty, the kits on. So the boys, they're doing okay. They could be doing better. At this point, I was thinking, just hang on in there, hope for the best, maybe. I mean, the league's what it is. Maybe we can get 7th. If we get 8th, I'll use Europe as an excuse. But when you look at the teams playing against Europe, every one of them we should be beating. So unless we have a total banana skin or come up against someone really good, then we had a good chance. And that was my plan. Whereas maybe normally I might have took players and put them into the Premier League as a priority. We are what we are in the league at the minute. Everything I was doing at this point onwards was going to go towards trying to win the Euro Cup 2. And the money just keeps on rising. It does, doesn't it? I mean, I know we've not made a full profit this season, but we're paying debt off, like I said, and it keeps going up. I felt really good about what I've done for this club. And if you played it and played it and played it, I don't think maybe another year, 2 years, you'll be in the top 4, 3 years, 4 years, challenging for a title. I think you could do that with Leeds. Well, it's the end of the season, so I think we'll just start here. In Europe, against Genk, who we beat 2-0. Again, great performance from my boys. I think we should have scored tons more goals. We kept a clean sheet, massively important. Even when we went to Belgium and taught them a lesson, we are looking strong, and I think we've looked strong in Europe all year. There's been a few games that have been close. We've just done enough kind of games, but I think we've looked good in this competition. I think this is the level we're at. I mean, I think Europa League, we could do well in Champions League, no, but the Euro Cup 2, got ourselves to a final. But like I said, we've had some teams that are beatable throughout the whole competition. We get to the final, it's time to face a big team. And that big team was Lazio at the Ernst Happel Stadion in Vienna in Austria. You having that 2-0. Calvin, hero, captain, Phillips, put cherry on the cake, icing on the top with a 92-minute second goal. But we dominated them. I know you think Lazio are great and they've got a great player in the middle. One of the best midfielders on the game. We've got Cavani up top. He came on, couldn't do shit. We were great. Look at that. Look at Phillips, man of the match. Man of the match. We got to lift the trophy. Brought a little bit of glory here back to Leeds, and that's all I wanted to do, as well as getting the club on a good footing. We'll just bring a little bit of glory back. Trophy in the cabinet. Look at it. I don't know if that's the real Euro Cup 2 trophy. It's a bloody beautiful trophy, isn't it? Eh? Beautiful. While we're here, we also got a second money affiliate this year in America. My two favourite countries for money, America and China. This time it's in Nashville. Quite a new MLS team. And we managed to capture 7th, which is really good. Really happy with that. Beating Norwich by a point in the end. Some distance off 6th, but like I said, this is a good team. Got some good young players. There's no one who's really old. And there's money in the bank, money to spend. This club, you know, a few more additions, a bit more quality, will start edging up towards that top 4 in my opinion. And another thing I was buzzing with, one of my favourite players on the entire save has been Phillips, and he finished off with a captain's performance in the final of the Euro Cup 2, but also as my best player. Shows you don't need 18 or above attributes sometimes to have a great player. He's just an all-round good player. And just in case you know, you might have guessed Spurs, because they finished so low in the league and had a European spot, had won something, well, they won the Carabao Cup, beating their arch rivals. And then they beat my beloved Manchester United 3-0 in the FA Cup final. Well, there you go, it's all over. That is the end of the series, end of episode 3, and I just want to thank every single one of you who's watched every single episode. Oh, thank you a lot, really. I'll give you a bit of a man hug, kiss on the lips, high five if you want, whatever tickles you fancy. But yeah, I do appreciate it. I also appreciate it when you smash the like button. Honestly, that's amazing. I also appreciate it on patrons. If you want to become one, you'll find a link down below in the description. But for now, you can enjoy the Journeyman, which is out tomorrow, and anything else I bring out. I don't know. I'm a bit randomly. I'm an FM Maverick. I don't play by the rules, but I do love you. I do appreciate every single one of you for sitting here with me on a busy day, looking at my face, listening to my voice, I hope you're happy. I hope you're safe. If you ever want to speak to me, get in touch. I'm Bood, and I'll see you next time.